Mic'd up with Mikie Mahtook. Got the boys in. I got Lloyd. We got Mitch. We got Jackie Boyd.
He tried to jump up, but he might have knocked it in.
Good timing. Let's go. What a start to the Monday. I mean, I'm from Lafayette. My boys will come in and say,
oh, God. So me and Joe on the ground, I got Joe in the headlock. And he's sitting there, he's punching me in the stomach, like, punching me.
Here, is everyone sitting around, who here thinks Ochinko can practice today after having 5 full beers? And he goes, Chad Jones, right? Chad's doing the team.
6 minutes.
For 7 minutes, right? Chad's like, no, man, I don't think Ochinko can practice today. And I was like, I look back, I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. I saw you there. You were more fucked up than me.
On the spirit plane had some issues, I think. She was sleep farting.
You heard her or you just thought it was her?
I sat right next to her. I smelled it.
Whoa. What was that?
Time for the show.
Now, when you do go to spring training, are you gonna bring your chinchilla and your turtle? My dad tell you about it.
The SEC is, God, they hate fat people. I mean, I get crushed for that. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man.
Hey, just the South, bro. You got a bunch of food down here. Like they just
Players. Look at Lloyd.
You know what, Lloyd?
You're looking for a recruiting coordinator, coach. I'm here.
He's like, I'll piss my pants right now.
No way.
We're wearing gray pants, long gray pants. He goes, I'll piss my pants right now.
Hello. Welcome back to Mic'd Up. Today is Friday, January 19th. We are live from Cards and Culture here in Perkins Row. It is Loosey Goosey Friday. It is Feel Good Friday. We have a great show for you today. A lot to talk about.
A lot of rumors swirling.
Rumors swirling. I think it's more than a rumor.
No.
We announced a little bit of a tease on our Twitter that the offensive coordinator announcement is looming right around the corner. We will talk about that on the show. I think that they have made their decision on who it would be. At least our sources and what we've been told is they have made their decision. We are going to talk about that on the show as we continue to go through. I think people are going to be happy about what is going to happen and who is going to be the job, who's going to be manning the play calls.
Hoopst.
From the defending or the number one offense in the country, returning offense, number one offense. Now looks a little different, but
There's a key ingredient there.
Yes, you're gonna have a lot of talent coming back. So you have a guy who's gonna be manning the offensive calls. That announcement should be coming soon. We'll talk about that. Who we have been told or think. Rumors, sources telling us that it is. We'll get to that. Staying on the football topic, LSU defensive staff has been completely finalized. Obviously, they announced Corey Raymond coming back to LSU. He is the secondaries coach. Kevin Peoples is the edge coach. Bo Davis is the defensive line coach. So he's the interior defensive line coach. Peoples is the outside, the rush in guy. And Jake Olsen, who comes over from Missouri, coached with Blake Baker over there at Missouri, was an analyst. Now he will have an on-field role as the safeties coach. So the defensive side of the football is taken care of. The offensive side of the football feels like it is being taken care of now. I think people are going to be happy about it. I think it's going to be happy. We have football this weekend. Mickey Loomis, we talked a little bit about Mickey Loomis and what he said with the Saints, how he was smacking his way through that conversation. Came off very condescending a little bit. I say it a little bit. Very condescending.
Of what you can actually hear through the smacks.
Well, through the smacks, right? Like, he's coming in there, and like what he said was not wrong. How he said it maybe could rub some people the wrong way.
It's a little history lesson.
Yep, a little history. The smacking of the gum was not great. I think he was kind of getting worn out around the internet and around.
It went national.
Yep.
Of course it did.
Around the national narrative of, look at this guy. Like, have the gum, just don't chew.
You know what's crazy?
Or just spit the gum out.
Or
where's the PR guy?
Hey, the national narrative is going to actually be like, oh, that's Louisiana. That's what the national narrative is going to be.
It's a bad look.
It hurt the state.
It's a bad look. Look, they're interviewing a bunch of guys for the offensive coordinator job in New Orleans. There's a bunch of offensive positions open. You would imagine it's going to be an upgrade from what it was this past year. But Mickey Loomis was in the news, and the Saints were in the news for not the great stuff, not the stuff that you wanted them to be in the news for. And hopefully, Louisiana doesn't that the way he reacted or the way he spoke and how he came off doesn't portray, like you said, Louisiana, because that's not the case. Women's basketball gets back on the winning ways. Kim Mulkey now passes Sue Gunter for what is it? For 709th career win. That's a lot of wins. It's a lot of dubs. Congratulations to Kim Mulkey. And Alabama football is imploding. They are
Spinning.
not in a good spot. They are kind of doing a similar stuff that was happening to LSU when and all that disaster. Now, this is a whole different disaster because the greatest coach of all time, the whole reason why you're getting all these recruits, the whole reason why you don't have to dish out a whole bunch of money in the NIL is because of Nick Saban. Well, now once Nick Saban goes, now all of a sudden you better dish out all that money in the NIL, or not, you're going to lose all these guys, which you're seeing is happening right now. Not only are you losing guys on the roster, right? You're losing guys that have already signed. You have guys putting their name in the transfer portal now before they even step foot on the campus.
With 4 left.
Which is wild. So you have 4 years. You say, oh, guys in the portal, he announced that he has 1 year of eligibility left. He has 2 years of eligibility left. They have 4 years of eligibility. He's got 5 years of eligibility left. Apparently now you can have 9 years of eligibility in college with your guy for the tight end from Miami. He's going on his second PhD right now. 9 years.
26, 27 playing with 19-year-olds. You go, boy.
9
I don't know how you
years.
figured out that code.
9 years. That's so long in college. He had a stretch of 3 years where he didn't even play. He was hurt for 3 years.
Three knee surgeries. I mean, let this guy. What do you want? Let this guy live. College is the best time of your life. At 29, 30 years old.
You can't imagine he's getting a bunch of NIL dollars, right? Like, you're a 9th year tight end. Like
He's figured out something with the system
Unless
because he hasn't
maybe-
left the system yet.
maybe like maybe he's getting like multivitamin endorsement deals. Like, hey, you're a little older, you know, maybe
Centromycin.
maybe you have the
He might be a club promoter.
the copper tone.
Hey, down there in
The
Miami.
sleeve.
Never
The
know.
what?
So down there in Miami, might be a club promoter down there too.
Yeah,
Who
no
knows?
doubt. No doubt. Like, there's a lot of things maybe down there that maybe that's why he transferred there. But 5 years. I mean, not 5 years. 9
Nine.
years. 9
Nine
years in
times.
college is a lot. Is a
9
lot.
times.
9
Nine.
years. But he is, he's doing, he's milking everything he can.
He might be getting pension.
Maybe so. He got tenure.
I was about to say that.
He got tenure, coach.
He's working on 10. He's working on 10 years.
No doubt. No. Speaking of Alabama, talked about them imploding. One of those cornerback recruits who had signed and is now in the portal, who has 4 years of eligibility, Jameer Grimsley, cornerback, 6'3", big cornerback. LSU and Florida are kind of dueling it out, see who is going to get his commitment. I think that would be a big get. We had talked about this on Wednesday. The recruiting class felt like it was kind of set going into January and say, oh, maybe there's a couple pieces that you wanted to add going into February. Now it seems like there's a whole nother recruiting. So like the recruiting class could look a whole lot different than anybody really even anticipated before the news of Nick Saban being gone. Look, Bussy, I think there's a lot of traction there.
It feels like it.
It feels like there's a lot of traction. Him coming to LSU, that's a 5-star. That's a big. He's committed to A&M right now. LSU's fighting to get him to flip his commitment. But like, I mean, there's an opportunity for LSU to go out there and make some real noise these last 2 or 3 weeks in the recruiting period. Right now, obviously, they're re-recruiting their guys. I think they're pretty solid on everybody that they've had that they have not already signed, and then guys in the 2025 class. But I think they're going to add some guys to this 2024 class, and it feels like they're going to jump from that 9. I think they're 8 or 9 in overall recruiting rankings to potentially maybe a top 5. Right, that Bussy kid, a 5-star. That's a big get. The decommit from Texas, who potentially could come here as a defensive lineman.
I was just about to update you on that. He has now committed to Florida.
Not coming to LSU.
Not coming to LSU, even though the reason he was given the release from his
Because of the
national
coach.
letter of intent was Bo Davis. That's the one who recruited him. Said that's when he had the best relationship. He's no longer on staff at Texas. And so LSU was kind of hoping or wondering, because that's a huge position of need for LSU on the defensive line. Very thin. And he's very thick. So for LSU to be able to pull somebody in that could play, seems like somebody that was going to play probably or battle for playing time.
Okay, so
with
he's
this
out.
Coach commits to Florida.
Has there been any news on Caleb Downs?
There was not any official announcement, but the way that it is tracking, according to like On3 or whatever, they put their pick in at like 65% to Georgia, which seems to make the most sense because it's T-Rob.
Great, yeah, makes sense. Follows a guy over there.
You think Kirby said, "I got a spot for you if you really want it"?
Let me go hire the coach and get you there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
makes sense.
from all of the goings on at Alabama, it feels like Florida State able to grab, I think, 5 people out of the Alabama portal, and then Georgia turns out to be probably the biggest winner here, where Kirby's building a monster.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Caleb Downs, if you can get that guy.
Now,
that's
LSU, like you said, I
automatic
don't think they're going to get guys that are currently on their roster, but I think LSU has a chance to get a couple, 2 or 3 maybe guys, recruits from Alabama to come here that never got to play it down yet in Tuscaloosa. One of those guys, Jameer Grimsley, which is a cornerback, definitely a position of need here in Baton Rouge. You have your cornerback recruiting guru back in the state, so hopefully that he can turn that guy and bring that guy here, and that's a big-bodied cornerback. I think that would help. And I think that there's some other opportunities for some of our defensive line coaches to go out there and maybe add 1 or 2 guys to that defensive line class. So interesting to see what they're going to do there and who they're going to add and what the recruiting class is going to look like when it's all said and done. But, yeah, kudos to Florida State for going out there and getting some of those guys. Kudos to Florida. Florida was in a bad spot. Florida did not come off a good year. They did not have an impressive showing this season. There's a lot of smoke around what's going on at Florida, and they've been able to get some guys to go there. That's a big get.
If you look at that schedule they got next year, they're gonna need every bit, single one of them.
No doubt. no doubt. But kudos to them for fighting through this thing and trying to get some guys in there. And look, there's a couple other guys, like this Jameer Grimsley kid, between LSU and Florida. So they're still in the mix with some big time guys. I think the big one is the Bussy kid, right? Like if Bussy can come here, they can get him to flip. I think that drives that recruiting class to a different level.
And now you're in a spot with Bussy for Grimsley's sake, according also to on 3. It's like 99% Florida, 1% LSU. But I don't know if that has changed since Corey Raymond has now been hired. I don't know if he was committing to Florida or if it was Raymond that was doing his bidding on the
Okay, so there's really Florida and so Florida's doing a bunch of things out there. Doesn't seem like that doesn't give me a lot of confidence that he's coming to LSU.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if that was updated whenever it was like a Corey Raymond was his number 2 choice at Florida because that was his main recruiter. So I don't know if you'll start to see LSU maybe start trending a little bit more. We will see.
We shall see. I'm hoping it does.
But for Bussy's case, it's interesting because LSU still has always been in the mix. He's remained firm in his commitment to A&M, but said I'll take visits. LSU gets the second visit of the 3. A&M gets the last.
That's
the last
a tough
hack.
one. That's a tough one.
But now you have your full staff being able to recruit Bussy, whether it be Corey Raymond.
Well, that's the big thing, right? You have Corey's in there for the stretch run of trying to get him to Baton Rouge. Like, hey, have you been watching the playoffs? You know that guy that's out there playing for the Texans who's done pretty well this year? I got some experience with that guy.
Yeah, there's 10 other ones that are also in the playoffs.
Yeah. You want to see some other guys? You want to go down the list of all the teams, all the guys?
A couple of them left last round.
Yeah. Actually, we had more, but war of attrition. Sometimes just can't win. Not everybody can win.
Only one team can win the championship, so I can't push them all up there.
So all those guys, you like that. You want to be there. That's your goal. Yeah. Okay. There's not a ton of those guys that are from A&M, I don't believe.
No.
There's a lot that came from here. So I was part of that guy who got him here, developed him. So it's nice to have that person in the room for
DBU to NFLSU.
The last little bit of the recruiting season. So hopefully that helps. You know what else is very interesting? That's a lot of dings. You know what else is interesting is Ohio State has had a lot of waves been made. So Ohio State had a bunch of people transfer out early. Then they've had some guys transfer in. Then they made a decision to hire a new offensive coordinator.
One of the best hires they could have made.
Which kind of doesn't make a lot of sense to me because it feels like Bill O'Brien was on the.
But I think he's on the downswing to what today's football is. But I feel like Ohio State has still been running a lot of the stuff that he's so used to doing. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, maybe.
And you got to realize too, he did have Bryce Young back there. Like I don't know. I don't know on Bill O'Brien at this point. After you go all those years in New England. And then he goes to Houston and does what he does and kind of ruined his name there, if you will.
Yep. And he goes back to Alabama.
Then he goes to the rehab program.
Yeah.
And he kind of builds it back up. And then he goes back to the league and wasn't very good this year. I'm so in the middle of I don't know where I am on him. I guess we will see.
I guess so. But he's going to be there, right? They have Will Howard, who's the transfer from Kansas State, more of a running guy, is their quarterback right now. Now, Alabama, 5-star. Answer me this. I don't follow recruiting all that well, all that close. I don't follow, on 3. But when I was coming up, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 stars. On 3's got a new rating, 5-star plus. Is that a thing?
5-star plus means that he's a consensus 5-star, he or she, consensus 5-star across every recruiting service that's available. So Rivals 5-star, 247 5-star, On 3 5-star.
Oh, so On 3 just makes a 5-star plus. Hey, you just means everyone's.
So they're the only ones with the 5-star plus.
Yeah, they the guy that invented Rivals and 247 invented On 3. So he's kind of got the metric for all of them.
The guy's got his little niche, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, recruiting websites, that's my thing.
And he finally got in the right numbers game because now you can just go On 4, On 5.
Let's say you think 6. Do you think he played Monopoly growing up at all?
Yeah. I figured out this works. I'm gonna do this really well.
Yeah. I created Rivals. I created 247. I created On 3. I'm going to 4.
And now I'm competing with myself. All of my companies compete with myself.
Yeah.
Obviously, I would imagine he sold out on all of them.
Well, that's the genius
Yeah,
part. He
I
sold the other two to build this one.
That's what you do. You build a company, you sell it, you wait for a year or two, start another one. Build it, sell it.
I mean the one that you've been working on for the past year anyway.
Yeah. Wait a year or two, start the other one. Like non-competes, the whole deal.
You
No.
do the RE Gold. CC
Once you
Fly,
find the
nut,
formula, the model.
the model.
Well, we haven't found our model in betting yet.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, you're right. Listen,
T-shirts,
what did I say?
5 points.
What did I say? I've done a lot less with one chip, and I had one chip left. Bet on LSU.
2 chips.
We won it. Now I got 2 chips. The next bet, I'm gonna bet the 2 chips. I may have 4 chips. And then once you get to the thing, you get back in there. You get to
the big boys.
one more bet puts me back in a situation where like, okay, now I can start divvying up different bets and start getting back to it.
Start playing with some house money. LSU is done playing with house money.
They're favored again this
No,
weekend.
I was talking about football.
Oh, they're done playing with house money.
But yes, you have now. This is the time for those 2 chips to come into play with the NFL playoffs.
Yes, well, that's why I need the 2 chips to turn to 4 chips before the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like I need one more bet today to turn those 2 chips into 4 chips, so that I have the 4 chips I can
Divvy up
just
to the 4
divvy up
games.
to, yes, exactly, exactly.
LSU plays again.
Was that? But the playoff game starts right in the middle of of the basketball game. LSU basketball plays at home at 3 o'clock against Texas A&M, who they just beat by double digits on the road. Texas A&M is a very highly rated within the KenPom ratings.
Picked to finish 2 in the SEC.
Preseason.
Yes.
Yes. And so now you get to play them at home after you had already beat them by double digits. So they're obviously coming into Baton Rouge with the hopes of returning the favor. But LSU opens the game. I guess lines are opening at what, LSU -2?
Yep.
So I'm not as confident in that one as I was in the Ole Miss one, but Ole Miss almost backdoored us, so that would not have been good. But
chips.
we'll see. Now, we talked about LSU football a lot at the start of the show, right now during the show. We talked about the biggest question mark right now and who has not been hired is the offensive coordinator position. It has been kind of quiet around that. You haven't had a lot of conversation about who's being interviewed, who's going to be here, who's the front runner, all these types of things. And I think part of that is because I think a lot of people are happy with what the bowl game looked like. And I think a lot of people are happy with the quarterback talent that we are getting into to Baton Rouge. So I think people would be okay with them just saying, okay, hey, Joe Sloan, you are the offensive coordinator, and Hankton, you're going to be the passing coordinator, say as a receivers coach, whatever that may be. So I think that's maybe why there's not a lot of conversation about who's going to be the coach, who's not going to be the coach. But now that everybody else has been hired, and the only coach that has not, only position coach that has not been, or only coach that has not been officially named is the offensive coordinator. We have reason to believe from our sources that the offensive coordinator at LSU, new offensive coordinator at LSU, or I guess not really new.
Yeah, new.
Maybe new. New offensive coordinator at LSU. Hold on. I believe it's going to be Joe Sloan. Based off of the conversations that I've had and some sources, I'm not saying, I don't know if it's a done deal or not, but I'd imagine that Joe Sloan will be the new OC. That was somebody that we had talked about early on. After the bowl game, after we had conversations, I had said I would be comfortable with him being the offensive coordinator. I thought maybe they would hire somebody on that has a little bit of experience at some bigger schools, calling plays, maybe coming in on as an analyst. And that still may happen. I don't know any of those things. But I would imagine that Joe Sloan will be the new offensive coordinator at LSU. And with Cortez Hankton continuing to have that role that he has had as far as passing game coordinator and receivers coach. That's what I've been hearing. That is a rumor. That is the sources that I've been told.
And so the news from that would be it would be Sloan as a standalone OC.
Yes, standalone, not co.
There would be no co-OC, and that's what a lot has been reported. And a lot of people assumed what would happen, but I'd imagine those conversations took place within the building where both people know where they stand, and it seems to be all good because I think the main reason people wanted the co-OC was you didn't want to lose Hankton.
Right.
If this is what is going to be announced, you don't want to lose Hankton to a move that opens up the door for him to leave to become an offensive coordinator.
Right.
So you
right.
thought the co-OC would
I would
protect you
imagine.
from that.
I don't know I don't know like the details of everything, but I would imagine Hankton's going to get a raise, and they're going to keep that passing game title on him so that he, doesn't. We don't want him to leave. You just got him here a couple of years ago. Like you want him to stay. So he's done a really good job, and so I'd imagine that's the case.
Yeah, I would imagine there was a level of probably not the highest level, but a level of keeping some people happy in the room and trying to figure out how can we do this at the same time. But I've touched on it before. We've talked about it on the show before. I really do think post-bowl game, more than we ever thought going into it, that it was kind of an audition, if you will, right? But I do think, like, with what you got out of the bowl game, knowing that you were going to bring some new receivers, knowing that you're going to have to go into a year where this will be Nuss's first year starting, really, like year starting, you want to be able to keep that continuity in the room and in the offense and in the verbiage and everything that's going on, because it's a really important year for LSU as a team anyway, right? And you don't want that to be where we're bringing in new people, we're asking new people to do new things, learn a new offense, learn a new way to play the game, and that be the difference in 2 to 3 games, right? Because those can really cost you next year.
Yep.
So I do think that probably had a lot to do with it, and I would wonder how much of, like I said, year 3 with who just left, how much of that had to do with we're kind of strapped. We really can't change this thing up too much unless we're getting someone who we know is a master motivator, a master teacher, and is unbelievable at putting something in place that'll work here. And I would imagine that's so hard and so rare and so not very easy to find that it's just something where you're like, nah, we're just gonna keep it with what we got.
Yeah, right. And look, to your point, you want to keep some continuity and you want to keep that. And I think that the audition went really well, right? I thought the offense looked really good. I thought they kind of got off to a little bit of a slow start. I think they were down 14-0 in the bowl game, but look, new quarterback, trying to get a feel for it, and all of a sudden they came back. They started driving the ball down the field, making big plays, doing the things that you expected to see, right?
Without the 2 top guys, well, one of them did, but the other guy didn't play the full game.
Right.
Like we thought for sure, like, hey, if we get 250 yards out of him, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But we didn't know where the future of it would go. There was that and more, and there was 3 touchdowns thrown. And
you had look, 2 of those 3 guys that had a majority of the yards receiving are going to be back next year.
Yeah.
Right. Obviously, Brian Thomas Jr. had almost 100 yards. He's not coming back. He had a great game. But Kyron Lacey had a really good game.
Yeah.
Right? He's coming back. Chris Hilton had a really good game, made some really good plays. He's coming back. And so you got to see a little bit of what it would look like with Nuss throwing the ball to these 2 guys as being the top dogs. Now you're going to have other wide receivers step up throughout the course of the offseason.
Well, and to think about those, like under him, you got Kyron Lacey, who will be back for, year 3 here?
Year 3 here.
Year 3 here, right? You got Chris Hilton, who will be back again. Well, you got Aaron Anderson. If we switch this thing up again, that'll be 3 different offenses in 3 years for him.
Yeah.
That's not very easy to do. You got the freshmen, the 2 freshmen, the other freshmen that were really good that came in last year. This would be 2 years and 2 different offenses for him. And then you're bringing in other guys who's going to learn a new offense already.
Right.
That's tough to do with bringing in a completely new system. So I do think a lot of that had to go with, off of the performance that you got in the bowl game, this is what we need to stay.
And a guy who's had experience calling plays.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like he's never done it before. He is familiar. He's really good at developing quarterbacks. I think that's also a big part of it, right? He's being able to bring in, I think he was a big part of Jaden Daniels' development, right? You're able to have him there for 2 years, and he got better both years, and he won the Heisman Trophy. And then you have Colin Hurley coming in, right, who is a big recruit, and then you have Underwood coming in, who's also a really big recruit. So you have the ability to recruit quarterbacks, develop the quarterbacks. You called plays. You had an audition. You did really well in the audition. And so I think all of those things mixed together was a reason why they said, okay, we're gonna keep this thing here.
It's the definition of don't overthink it.
Exactly. And look,
and
I'm confident enough saying this is happening, right? Like I also am sensitive to the fact that I don't want to, I want people to make the announcements the way they should be made, right? Have the conversations behind the scenes that need to be had. Like I'm not trying to break news or do anything. I was just able to fall into a fortunate situation and get information through a source that I trust, and
it's a very fluid situation all of the time.
Yeah, and I'm not saying I'm not backpedaling. Like I think Joe Sloan is gonna be the offensive coordinator. Like that's what I'm saying. I think that's gonna happen, but I'm also not gonna tweet it because it's not my place to make the decision on I don't care about that. You know what I mean? Like we talk about, we're not a breaking news show. We're more of a conversational show, right? Like,
so if this were to happen, this is why we think it would be a good fit. And especially when you look at what the defense has done, when you overhauled nearly every position on the defensive side, if you want to have any sort of continuity, like it's tough even for Brian Kelly, who has done this for as long as he has, to replace defensive coordinator, defensive line, linebackers coach, safeties coach, cornerbacks coach, then flip around on the offensive end and go, let's bring in a new offensive coordinator as well. Like that's the rub where it's like, all right, let's keep some of this what we did last year, which wasn't bad, especially offensively. We're the number one offense in the country. If it ain't broke, I don't think we necessarily have to fix it.
Well, and let's look at this. Look at the coaches they brought back on the defensive side. Most of them have an LSU connection.
All of them have an LSU connection, right? They've coached together before, or they've coached at LSU before, and they understand what that means. If not a LSU connection, a Louisiana connection.
Right. Offensively, you don't have to go out and search. You have a guy that you felt like, okay, he's been here for a couple of years. He's developed these guys. He understands his bends it, understands what we're going through, hungry for, to become better and be a good coach. Now you keep a guy here that just keeps that continuity there.
And if
I think that's important. That's what we haven't had. We're starting to build it, but from 2020 till 2024, that's you're trying to rebuild. 2020 to 2022, you're trying to rebuild it. From 2020 to 2022 on, you're trying to grow that and cultivate that, and that's what you're doing.
And if you're LSU, who else was really out there? Do you want what Ohio State just got? This is Bill O'Brien at Alabama with Bryce. See if we can figure this thing out. 3-man pressure.
I mean,
Bryce, figure it out. Heisman winner. Let me see if I can go 40-yard dot back of the end zone. Yep, good call, Brian. Got you.
Hey, you want no one overall pick in the draft. That's easy it's easy when you have that.
Oh, that's not a play call.
Right.
It's backyard football.
Yeah. Hey, just be you.
And my greater point is, what else was really out there if you're LSU? Like you have one in your back pocket that has. Granted, at least at LSU, a one-game sample size, right? But it wasn't a flub. If he had not performed to make it, as I know it's bizarre to judge off of one game, right? But if it had been a flub, it would be harder probably for this to pass over as, sure, maybe he should just be a quarterback's coach.
Well, so I'll give you one pushback too, or who else is out there. We don't know.
Right.
We don't know. We're in a sense of like, we never thought Brian Kelly was getting the job. We didn't know he was out there as well either, right? So you don't know who's out there, but what I will say, the one part we never touched on when it comes to continuity is, hey, if we're going to have these receivers that are new here, that are coming in to kind of learn some stuff, or these guys that don't have as much playing time, I would love to have that front five, those guys all know exactly what we're doing and know exactly how we're trying to do this. That way, if it takes us a little figuring out and a little gelling to do, at least we'll have a little bit more time doing it, because those guys shouldn't be confused up front.
No, that stays. You did lose one, as it is reported, not confirmed or official, but Lance Hurd has found his home in Tennessee. Yeah, so
which is good. LSU doesn't have to play Tennessee, so they have to worry about it.
Don't have to worry about it. But there was a point in time when it felt like LSU was going to have 5 stars across the board on the offensive line. Now it is reported that Lance Hurd has priced himself into the Tennessee Volunteers camp.
Well, and I think part of that, the reason why he's gone, right? We talked about that is, yeah, he's a 5-star. He's very talented, very good. And you would like to have 5 stars across your front line, but you also like the experience. right? You also like to have your 5-star who's going to be a first-round pick in the draft potentially as your left tackle for the 3rd straight year, which that's
Doesn't
awesome,
happen.
right? Your other right tackle who is a freshman who's going to start for the 3rd straight year, doesn't happen, right? And then you have 2 inside guys on the guard positions, are both veteran guys who are coming back for their senior seasons. So now you have a veteran. This is probably the most veteran offensive line that you've had in a really long time. And you know what that does? You know what else that helps bridge the gap to? All these talented young guys that you bring into LSU that are on the offensive line that probably are good enough to play as freshmen, they're going to have to wait their turn just a little bit, and they're going to develop through behind guys who are going to be in the NFL. And that is how you build a program. When you have an offensive line or you have position that one guy ahead of you is going to go to the NFL and the guy behind you is good enough to play, but he's just not better than you because you're going to be a first-rounder, then that guy shows up as a sophomore or a redshirt freshman. Now he's a starter, and he does the same thing. That's how you build a program. That's how you sustain success. So all this talent that you bring on the offensive line that may not start right away, you have the experience and you have the veteran leadership on the offensive line with your 2 tackles who are going to be who are going to be juniors, potential first-rounders, and your inside guys are going to be seniors. Right? They've been there. I think that was the big thing that Hurd, when Hurd left, Hurd didn't think that he was going to
Crack.
those guys were going to be here. He didn't think both guards were going to stay here, which meant that probably they're going to move Emory Jones to the guard and let Hurd play that right tackle position. That ended up not being the case. So I think that's a better sign for LSU than not to be able to have that many guys.
And it feels like he was definitely looking at left tackle exclusively.
Of course, but like
That's what I'm saying. If
some other point. Hey, dude, you played behind him in high school. That was your high school teammate that was the starting left tackle when y'all are both there at the same time. And then he comes to LSU and only gets better as a freshman All-American, and he was an All-American as a sophomore. He's going to be a first-round pick. And you come to LSU thinking you're just going to all of a sudden just beat him out now? Like, that's just – I know you want to play left tackle, but like, hey, dude, play right tackle and just move the left tackle when you get to the NFL. Happens all the time. All the time.
Respect the confidence.
Me too. And I hope he does really well at left tackle. It's going to be very unfortunate if he's not a left tackle. If he's a right tackle. Very unfortunate for them. But, like...
They got to protect their other investment, the quarterback, the 5-star, $30 million fresh. Well, now I got to be redshirt freshman.
$30 million?
I think it was like $8 million.
$8 million at Tennessee?
Yeah, I signed him last year.
$8 million.
That's got to be a rumor. That's not real.
That can't be real. Show me the pay stub.
It's not real.
Yeah.
It's not real.
Show me the pay
I
stub.
don't believe that.
Nico Lamaliva.
Yeah. $8 million, though?
I do not believe that.
I don't believe that at all. Not $8. $1 million, maybe. $2 million, maybe even.
Not 8.
$8 million.
No, sir. Not a guy.
Never played a down of college football. I'm going to give you $8 million. No way.
$2 million a year. So I guess he won't see that extra. Got to cut 2 off the top. He's probably going to leave. Make sure you read that deal now.
So he's a freshman this year or was a freshman this past year?
He was a freshman last year, and he
Didn't
played the bowl game.
Yeah, but didn't play the whole year. So you got paid.
To get
I'm going to give you $2 million
To come here.
To go to class?
just to come here and not play.
Get
Good.
developed.
That's smart. That's good.
To
That's
come
what
here
you want.
and watch amateur football in the uniform.
And we don't know how good. Maybe you don't understand. Maybe you can't decipher what man coverage is. Maybe you can't. Maybe they disguise you and you don't understand how to navigate through that. So now we're going to give you all that. That's my issue with the whole thing. I'm not saying people should not get paid.
Hey, my issue with the whole thing is this. Like, the powers to be that put money into whoever that collective, whatever they got going on there, however they structured everything. But if you put money into this and it's put into that, and you know that there's a large portion of what you put into that is going to a guy that has not touched the field, and like you said, maybe they don't like him and they realize he can't do this. Are you going to continue to dump money into that well? Are you going to continue to want to be a part of that system? Are you going to ask that they do something so you can recoup some of this money? Like, how does that go? Because that sounds absolutely crazy to me.
I mean, it's unbelievable. Speaking of guys, I mean, look, I'm not I'm not.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I'm
It's
just
out there. Yeah, it's absurd. It's absurd.
I understand what they're saying. Reportedly signed. I don't believe it though.
It's run by Spire Sports Group that supports Tennessee student athletes through a monthly membership program. It is $2 million a year, up to $8 million for 3 years.
For 3 years?
Yeah.
Ain't no way.
I don't believe it.
Ain't no way.
And that's okay. I don't believe that.
Now they get a left tackle to.
I want to see.
That 8 got to have some incentives to get to the 8. There's just no
I want
way.
to see the pay stub. Show
Well,
it to
you
me.
know who else wants to see the pay stub? Walter
IRS.
Nolan.
I want to see the contract. I don't want to see the pay stub.
Who?
Walter Nolan.
Well, Walter Nolan, I think, had a little bit of a. Maybe he didn't read the fine print, maybe, or didn't read his contract. Like, hey, when you sign a 2-year deal, and you only play one of those years. The second year that you had already gotten paid for probably is not going to count. You probably just can't take it.
Yeah.
'Cause if that was the case, then everybody would do that. Hey, sign a 2-year deal. I'll retire after 1 year. Let me get both years, and then let me go somewhere else.
No, they don't give it all.
That's
that
not
way.
how that works.
You're gonna have to.
You gotta pay it back. Give it back to me because I'm not paying you for work not done.
Pretty simple.
Now I don't know what the contract looked like, but I'm assuming that's kind of similar to what the issue is. I just have a hard time believing 3 years, $8 million for a high school guy to come into college that they have no idea if he's gonna be really good or not. You can have some sort of an idea, but you don't really know. You just don't.
If not, then if that's what we're doing, we need to find a way to kind of infiltrate the Tennessee workforce because there's a lot of money going around.
No doubt.
I feel like we could get into it and make really quickly.
3 years, $8 million. Speaking of the $8 million or the money, the Alabama 5-star quarterback that enrolled early and now is transferring out, I'd imagine he's probably going to get a pretty penny on the open market.
Probably like 7.5. He's got 4 years left.
I mean, listen, this guy actually was already enrolled, so technically he's got more experience than the other guy did at Tennessee, so maybe he's worth 8.5, 9.
I'm not. I would if that's true. I'm starting at least 7.5 if I'm in the portal.
No doubt.
Like let's talk about it. I'm not going any lower than this.
That's what I really want to know. I really want to know like what's true and what's not.
I don't think you'll ever know. Right? Like you would have to wait probably 3 years to have like a guy that started off his career by jumping into the NIL world, like whenever he signed or portal world, wherever he's like, all right, I'll left after 1 year.
I guess I'll know if like, I mean, you have to talk to their agent. You know what I mean? Like if you had a relationship with their agent and say, hey, how does that work, dude? Like there's no way, right? So.
A lot of money out there.
A lot of money out there. A lot of money.
But yeah, but in the terms for Alabama to lose, what is it? They're up to, I believe, 27 players in the portal. I just had it. Hold on.
27 players in the portal?
I think 27 is the number.
I mean, I'm not going to go down the whole list, but 4 5-stars have entered the portal. Caleb Downs, Caden Proctor, Julian Sayin, which is the quarterback.
That's a 5-star quarterback.
And Isaiah Bonds, and obviously you have the 4 stars, Des Riggs, Amari Nyblack, Ja'Cory Brooks.
Isaiah Bond, did you say that already?
Yes, that's a 5-star. So they lost 4 5-stars, I think 10 4-stars, and the rest are 3 stars. But that's where you start getting into who is going to, I'd imagine Sayin is getting an NIL deal somewhere. The 2 leaders in the club.
Sayin, you know what I mean?
Yeah, super Sayin. The 2 leaders in the clubhouse are reportedly Ohio State and USC.
Bill O'Brien.
Bill O'Brien time.
Yeah. Where's Sayin from?
California. So that's the reports
USC,
to USC, which would make it a very interesting first game for a new defensive staff at LSU. And then you have,
I think that'd be a great thing for the defensive staff, a guy who's hadn't played yet.
Especially if they lose USC loses Cliff Kingsbury, their passing game analyst.
That is
to
a
the
rumor,
Bears.
right? Going to the Bears.
Going to the
as OC.
OC gets a,
Yeah. Which feels like that's what he is.
Another trip around the sun for
OC.
Let's run it back for Kingsbury again, who's never won
Feels like
anything
that's what
of
he is.
substance ever, but always gets a job. Always lands on his feet.
On his
Ryan
feet.
Gosling.
I mean, literally name the quarterbacks he's worked with. Boy, he's been good on the boat.
Yep. OC seems like it's the spot.
Quarterback whisperer.
I mean, listen, You got money already. They're going to pay you a good money to be OC, especially in Chicago when they have a quarterback who they believe is good, who you've worked with a lot of guys similar to his style play.
You're missing the easier dot to connect.
What?
Does that mean the Bears are going to draft Caleb Williams #1 and reunite Cliff Kingsbury? And,
Oh, that too.
Yeah.
But
There is
they're
rumor
gonna pay
out there
him.
that the Bears brought him in just to have a Caleb Williams conversation, just to try to get some information. There's that rumor too. I feel like Cliff's a little smarter than that. Probably didn't give too much, but there is that conversation.
I'm kind of sold on. I mean, not sold.
I feel like you could do both too, right?
Yes.
We can actually get a real interview of you, and we can maybe see what you can kind of give us and what you won't give us.
Yeah, Cliff's been around a lot of contract negotiations.
And maybe if
I
you don't,
think
maybe if you don't give us anything, maybe that makes us feel better about you.
The ball's in your court, as they say.
The Bears are desperate too because they have to have, like Eberflus is desperate. He's got to have a good team. Now look, the Bears made a run. I think they were 7-10 or 8-9 into the year this year. Like at one point they were not good,
At one point, it was over for Eberflus, and it was Harbaugh come home.
and then they made
Strides.
that run. Part of the reason why they made that run was because of Justin Fields, right? He comes back and he plays really well, and he was a big reason why they played well. They want the players. I know DJ Moore all those guys want him to be the quarterback. Obviously, they don't make those decisions, but if Kingsbury goes there and says, "Yeah, I'm gonna come be the OC," and I do like Justin Fields, I think that he's the guy. The Bears could be very scary because then they get rid of the #1 pick. They trade, get more picks, get more players, and now they still have 2 first-round picks in the first round.
That could be. The Bears already have enough
be
draft
scary.
capital right now, whether
Yes.
they trade out or not, that if they hit on these picks,
No doubt.
it could be a very, very good team.
No doubt.
What's the other pick that they have?
8
or
I
9,
think.
one of the two, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's 8.
Yeah. So you got 1 and 8.
So if you don't want to draft a quarterback,
That one
you
could
trade.
possibly turn into 2 more first-round
Exactly.
picks.
I would trade it back to like a team that's 3rd or 4th that wants to move up to 1, and then you're staring a.
I mean, here's the deal.
you could go wide receiver.
I don't know what their offensive line situation's like in Chicago. Trade it, move back to 3 or 4, right? When you know quarterback's probably taken, then you take Joe Alt. You take your left tackle from Notre Dame. Now you have the guy protecting your quarterback, and then hopefully you have another first-round pick. So with 8, you take whatever offensive player you want to take.
Neighbors.
Whatever you want to do,
Romeo
right?
Duse.
So now you got DJ Moore, who had a great year, plus whatever superstar you pick, plus
A stalwart left tackle.
your running back. Your running backs were fine. You probably could go get one maybe in free
Later
agency or
rounds.
whatever, but like you were fine. And then you'll probably end up with more picks. You're not just gonna exchange first
1 for
rounders.
4.
So you're going to have more picks to go and get whatever else you need, defensively, offensively, whatever you do. Seems like, I think I could be wrong on Justin Field, but I'm kind
The
of
college tape is too good to ignore.
You're on him?
I'm kind of on him.
Here's my thing. I'm on him, but I just don't know if I would actually pay him if I'm them. I really don't.
I wouldn't pay him this year. I'd give him.
I mean, you're still. My point is, you're still kind of on the hook for him. So, like, yeah, okay. Here's the thing: if you're not paying him this year, that's great. But let's say he is kind of what you think he is, and you have to pay him next year, but then it doesn't turn out to that.
Right.
Then you're on the hook because now you're expecting to have a great team.
Right.
It's tough. They got a really tough decision.
And that's the other thing. So,
Damned
hey,
if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah, seriously, because
Right.
you could trade him away, make your team a lot better, and he ends up being a Hall of Famer somewhere.
right.
else.
And look, financially, it makes sense for them to get rid of him.
Just
Because now
Reset
you have
the
a cheaper
clock.
quarterback that you may think is better than them
Yeah,
anyway.
you reset your own quarterback
For
market.
sure.
You actually can allocate it to the team a little bit
and you don't have to
more.
give up anything to get
Yeah.
him. You already have their
You
one
build
pick,
a team like
plus
San
the 8 pick.
Francisco's built a team, where there's literally stars everywhere, and you're like, how on earth are they paying these dudes? And you're like, oh wait, it's because they're paying their quarterback $800,000 instead of $50 million. That's
Yeah.
how. Like,
Right.
That's how they're doing it.
Right, and then you trade Justin Fields, you get more back from him anyway.
They use that in the draft.
Exactly. So,
Like
Crazy.
I said,
It
damned
really
if you
is.
do,
And
damned
maybe-
if you don't.
Damned if you
and
don't.
maybe Maybe.
Because nobody's gonna fault you for drafting.
And
Caleb
this
Williams.
is-
That's the one coup
But
you
say
have.
if we're being honest too, when it comes to the quarterbacks that are in it, even though they have the one and they literally have the pick, this is the one draft where you're like, man, if we trade him away, who knows? Like, what if we could get the 4th overall pick, and now we already have the 8th, and then we get another first.
Yeah.
Like you just don't know what you can get, and you're like, man, if we could grab one of these, I don't know, top 3,
Do what
is that what we need? Like, you know,
see
what I
what
mean?
the Commanders did.
you see what the Commanders do.
They drafted RG3 and then went back around in the 2nd round or 3rd round and grabbed Kirk Cousins. Like took 2
Oh
quarterbacks.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
weird. I remember that. And now RG3 and Jay Gruden are going after it still.
Still on Twitter.
Still, Jay Gruden came out and said, "It wasn't just me.
Go race a pigeon.
You went to a bunch of other school teams. They didn't want you either.
Go race a pigeon.
Race a pigeon." And then RG3 dropped a bunch of stats. I had no idea about pigeons. You know that you can fly up to 120 miles an hour? I think that's not true.
I know that there's like pigeon races around New York City.
120 miles an hour is fast.
I don't think they can go that fast.
That's what he says.
But I know that they were, integral to World War I. Helped
They were. That's
America
what
win
he
the
also
war.
said that was a big reason why he won the war.
I would hope he didn't drop that knowledge without it actually being
I'd imagine.
knowledge.
I'd imagine it's knowledge.
RG3 seems like a guy that would look that up. He would just put it out there.
Kind of a wild situation. That was also a wild situation in the draft. To draft him that high and Kirk Cousins in the 3rd round.
And then not know Kirk Cousins' name. They called him Kurt when they went to negotiate. And he signed the
The franchise tag.
twice.
Yep.
And he called the owner, Snyder, called him Kurt. He's like, it's Kirk. But
Well,
let's get this deal done.
And that brings me to that was part of that was when I started to like respect the hell out of Kirk Cousins, because the Commanders tried their hardest to screw him over so bad, and every year he just kept getting better and better and better. And like, oh, okay, franchise tag, no problem. You don't think anybody's better than me, but you don't want to pay me, no problem. Great year. Franchise tag, no problem. I'll sign it again.
Kirk's the
You're gonna pay me
reason.
$50 million this year. I'll sign it. You don't think anybody's better than me? Fine. By the time he was gone and became free agent, he almost made $100 million.
Hey, Kirk's the reason for the current quarterback market the way it is.
No
You
doubt.
realize that, right? Like he
Fully
said what was
guaranteed.
crazy, and then after when he finally signs one, he signs a $100 million fully guaranteed contract. Like, he's the reason why the market is where it is. And
Yep.
thank you, Washington. You did this.
No doubt. For being stupid.
You've done this. You've actually bumped the price up for the entire league right
For
now.
being stupid.
And then you can dovetail that with Deshaun Watson getting $300 million fully.
That
guaranteed.
was probably not the greatest deal in the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was probably not the greatest deal in the world.
You got Baker Mayfield in the 2nd round of the playoffs, where he was your quarterback in Cleveland. Ran him out of town to get Deshaun, who's probably played in, 12 games in 2 years. Self-reports on the IR. I can't go today.
Yeah. That's wild.
A little tight.
2 NFL games tomorrow. Houston at Baltimore at 3:30. Green Bay at San Fran, 7:15. Both games actually are very intriguing. Like both of them, right? Because, I mean, look, I know it's the playoffs, and it's like, oh, it's the playoffs. Every game's going to be good. I'm looking at all these. I'm like, they all. Houston at Baltimore, right? Houston, obviously, C.J. Stroud's like.
The divisional round is usually the best round.
Yeah, you're right. C.J. Stroud's top 4 or 5 quarterback in the league right now, the way he's playing.
Probably the best rookie season ever, too.
No doubt. And so he's going to Baltimore, where
Big Bad Wolf. The Big Bad Wolf
yeah,
right now.
very hard place to play.
Yeah.
Defense is going to be nasty.
So is the weather.
So is the weather. It's going to be cold. You have Patrick Queen and you have Roquan Smith coming
With-
at you every
with
single
2
play.
weeks of rest.
Yeah.
One of them. Patrick played in the last game.
Yeah.
But 2 weeks of rest.
Yeah.
Ready.
Ready to go, right? A
Full
defense
tilt.
is playing as good as they can play.
You got Todd in his bag calling up all the plays. You got Lamar.
Lamar coming off the best
Lamar's
game
having
of
the best game and the best season of his as a whole.
Yep.
The best season of his career.
Outside of MVP, even the MVP season?
As a runner, he was way better. This is the most passing yards he's ever had. So
Right.
I would say as a whole,
Yeah.
probably his
More
best
pa-
season.
Yeah, yeah.
like
More I mean, the five passing touchdowns in the last game puts him back to puts his season numbers almost pretty comparable they were when he won the MVP.
Yeah.
So like now it's like okay, makes sense. Before the last 2 or 3 games of the season, he was like, oh, he's having a good season, but he doesn't really have the passing touchdown numbers that he had in that year.
But
now,
he's got more passing yards than he's ever had.
Right. And now you look at it like, oh, well, he had 5 touchdowns the last game. Like, okay, now he's at 30 whatever passing yards.
Yep.
He's doing – hold on. We got a lot of people coming in and out now. We got a
lot
action.
of business, a little action, a little Friday action, baby.
So he had 5 touchdowns, right? So obviously he's coming off – he's playing super hot football.
Yeah.
But Houston's going there, right? So that's intriguing because you have kind of what they're doing. Then San Francisco is the other big bad wolf. But Green Bay
The
kind
young
of
go
feels
hards.
like the young go hards. They have
Youngest team in the league.
Everybody that is everybody that is like meaningful in the position player groups are either first or second year players, right? You have a quarterback where Green Bay just keeps falling into.
No, they're not falling at this point. At this point, we realize they're not falling.
They know they're doing.
They know what they're doing.
So they go and Jordan Love looks like he's the next great one coming out of there. He gets to go to San Fran. Isn't Jordan Love from that area? I think he's from California area.
I'm not sure. He was a Utah State guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe so.
And so they go out there. Green Bay's playing really good football. Obviously, the young guys are there. San Francisco is San Francisco, but that one's kind of intriguing because of Jordan Love and what he can do, and hopefully, make that game really close. What do y'all have? Who do y'all like? Lloyd?
What game is this?
Well, the Saturday games. Houston and Baltimore and Green Bay and San Francisco. What are you looking up
I
over
was
there?
looking up some nuggets.
Give me some nuggets.
Ravens are 11-6 against the spread this season. Unders are 9-8. Texans are 10-8 against the spread. Lamar Jackson is 3-0 against the spread against the Texans. Texans have covered 4 straight games as a road underdog. 7-3 against the spread overall as underdogs. So just a couple nuggets there because I do like what y'all are saying, especially with what they have cooking up over there with rookie head coach DeMeco Ryans that seems to have the ear of the players. Like
And
it's
it's a shame that the 2 of their top receivers are out too. Tank Dell's gone for the year.
Yeah.
And then is it Nico Collins?
He's
No,
playing.
he's there.
Who was the other one? They had 3. It was Tank Dell, Nico Collins, and one other guy, Noah Brown. He's the third one.
Yeah.
But he's still there too, I think, or maybe he's hurt. I don't
He's
know.
been in and out.
Yeah.
He may be healthy this game.
Yeah. But I mean it's.
But what you've seen with like the team buy-in with DeMeco Ryans, and you saw obviously like the Christian Willis clip where he's like, I've had this same play against Joe Flacco whenever I played against him when he got the pick 6. He's showing him on the tablet like.
Well, it
look
wasn't.
at-
It was Christian Harris.
Christian Harris. What did I say? No, Christian.
Christian Wilkins, the defensive lineman for. It was
It's,
Christian Harris from Alabama.
Yeah, Christian Harris. Excuse me.
That's who had the pick 6.
Yeah, so he was
also
showing-
from Louisiana.
Yes,
From
DeMeco
Baton Rouge.
Ryans, Alabama boy also. But he was showing him like the same play that happened. He's like, look, if you get this look, Flacco's going to want to check like he did it to me. And then you obviously see the same thing happen out in real time where he gets the pick
That was pretty
6.
cool.
Hey, it wasn't even watching that play. I don't think people realize like how much of studying and all of that went. If you watch the play, Christian Harris did not move his feet when the ball was snapped.
He knew exactly what he was doing.
That is, his feet did not move. He didn't even budge. Like that's how much it was. I'm anticipating you to give me those eyes and let it go, and I'm
gonna
going
break.
to
I'm not even gonna look at the receiver. I'm just gonna literally time you up, and I'm gonna sprint exactly where I think you're throwing the football, and I'm gonna take this out.
That's literally like if you're taking a test and you're going down and then you see the first 3 words, you're like, oh, yep, know the answer. I'm not even reading the rest of it. That's pretty much what he just did.
Somebody dropped this.
pretty crazy.
Somebody dropped this cheat sheet on the ground. I was going to put my foot on it, put it away. Now I got the answer to the test.
And you got it.
6.
Pick 6.
No, he still studied. This is
No,
study.
no. D'Amico gave him the answer. And that's
D'Amico did give him the answer on
That's
that
part
one.
of studying.
Yeah, he studied for me. It's C.
What's the lines? Do you know that? Do you have the lines?
Yes, now the line's pulled up over here.
It's 6.5 in the. Actually, I don't know. I think that one might be the biggest
Well,
one.
it's at home.
The
so yeah.
Baltimore and Houston game.
I mean, those look. Baltimore is the number 1 team in the AFC. San Francisco is the number 1 team in the NFC, obviously. But the contenders right there.
I love the 2 home teams in this
Yeah.
one, and the way this thing has usually gone in the past few years is it's somebody's getting upset.
Yep.
I just don't know which one it's going to be.
Yep.
Yeah, I do believe that the favorites win outright a ton. Obviously, because this is when the matchups get tilted a little bit for the Texans-Ravens. It's Ravens -9 at home.
There it is.
3:30 kick on Saturday. So, and then the total is at 43.5.
What's the you know what the weather's like?
No.
Baltimore? No.
Oh, I did look up the weather earlier today, actually, now that I think about it, and it was snow, 100% chance of snow today. So I don't know if it's going to snow Saturday.
Tomorrow.
But it will be a nice Baltimore, The Wire type evening.
Yeah. Football weather, some would say. I disagree with that.
Yes. Well, unless you're Kansas City.
Unless
It's
you're
not
Kansas
football
City.
weather enough.
12 people got frostbite in the hospital.
Yeah. Ask them if it was football weather.
Definitely not fan watching.
When they
Definitely
thaw
not
out.
football watching.
Yeah, ask them when they thaw
And what's the Green Bay San Fran line you said?
9 also.
They're both 9.
out. That one's got a high over-under, doesn't it? The total on that one's pretty high.
It is 50.5.
Yeah. That's pretty high.
Higher than I thought it would be.
Pretty high.
With San Fran was that's higher than I thought it would be with San Fran's defense. Tampa Bay, Detroit scares me. I want Detroit to be in the Super Bowl. I just want them to be in the Super Bowl.
I want to see them just win another one. Just get to the NFC Championship.
But
Oh,
the
God.
Tampa Bay, this Tampa Bay team makes me a little nervous.
I feel like you could put Tampa
That's kinda what
Bay,
they're doing right now.
Tampa Bay, Green Bay, and the Texans call all in that bucket.
See, I disagree. I think I like Houston and Green Bay over Tampa, but like
I've been saying like you're kind of hot playing with house money.
right. And then obviously you end the weekend with Kansas City at Buffalo. I mean,
The new Brady
Round
and
3.
Manning. The new Brady and Manning.
I could
Bowl.
fit more of you. Give me more football.
round 3 right there. In Buffalo,
in the cold.
gonna be nasty. First road game in Patrick Mahomes' career, playoff career.
Pretty impressive for
How
a career.
crazy is that?
But I don't think he gives a shit about any of that.
Oh,
But
me either.
for a career, that's pretty
Yeah,
impressive.
no doubt. I mean, that's 19 was his first year in the NFL as far as like making the playoffs. He has never played a road playoff game, which is nuts. I'm not saying that's gonna make a difference one way or the other. That's just a crazy stat.
Yeah.
This is his 12th playoff game, I believe. Is that it?
Crazy. I mean, the Super Bowl doesn't count, obviously, because that's the neutral site.
Right.
But
for it to, if you don't think this is going to be close, it probably will be. It's Bills -3, which is just home
That's
field.
the home field.
Yeah, Tech Classic. And it's opened at 45.5. It has not budged. And this is the 7th meeting between Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. They're both 3-3 against the spread with over and unders going 3-3. So good luck betting
Wow.
that one.
Wow.
No feel.
that's great.
That means that line's not moving until like 6 minutes until kickoff, and somebody's going to throw something big on it just to move it.
That's a classic. I'm not going to bet it. I'm going to live bet it. See how this thing
Man.
starts going.
Or just not even touch it.
Or Bills first half.
Or just kick your
About
feet
to
up and say,
see
you
it,
know
I
what?
think.
I'm just a spectator in this one.
I might just eat this one up for the love of the game. Don't need any action on it.
Are you taking any bet? You're gonna tease. You're gonna do some. You're not. No, it's not. It's too early for you to make your moves.
I looked
know.
at it. I glanced at it.
I wonder what our guys are gonna say about.
See, what I
wonder what our guys are gonna say about the props.
Did you
Yeah,
glance
great
at
weekend.
Did you glance at the actual lines that are set now, or the ones you plan on moving?
I've already moved them. I just didn't put it in because I got scared. Because I went across. Classic rule of teasing is not to go against the line, like make it go over. But if you tease it, you can get for the first two. What I think I did the two favorites, and so I did Ravens, teased it down to 2, and then San Fran teased it down to 2. So they just have to win by a field goal. But the classic rule of thumb for teasing is to buy the points of the underdog, so you could get it almost up to 18, 17.
But you went the other way.
All right, but that's why I didn't put it in. I was like, 17 points sounds nice in a playoff game.
Sounds very nice.
Until it's not. Then I went back and I was like, maybe I should just do the two favorites money line, and that wasn't worth the squeeze. So I mean, that's what playoff football is all about.
That's
You
it.
don't know.
Listen, it's not. You can't
But you
just
have
can't
to
jump
bet.
into
You
it.
have to bet on it.
I'm gonna bet.
Yeah, I'm just talking about in my own mind. Like, there's no sitting it out.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm just gonna pick.
You're
one
hot.
Pick one or the other and see what
You're hot.
happens.
And I'm gonna listen to our guy and bet some props.
There we go.
Last week he was 7-1. And
Sounds like you're playing with house money. That's
only
what it sounds
weekend
like
I
to me.
didn't bet.
One chip.
Only weekend I didn't bet. Last weekend he went 7-1 props. What a weekend for me not to do anything. He went 5-0
Now,
on one
now
of
you're
them.
gonna take all of them, and he's gonna.
No, I do all of them. I do usually take all of them.
I
I
know.
don't bet a ton of money on them. I just take all of them.
Well, now you're gonna.
And I didn't bet at all. And he had 5 in a row. He went 5-0 in one game, and he went 4-0 in one game and 3-1 in the other.
He lost to Luca over the other day. I didn't take it. It's over 31
Well,
and a half.
I'm
against
just
the
talking about
Lakers.
football.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at the basketball stuff.
But it is a bet blind scenario, but this is the classic. The Libra scale tips back to even. Mikey's going to go a little bit more than he usually does.
No, I can't. I don't have the money in the funds.
He's load up a little bit of funds. Going to go a little bit more than usual. It's going to be either a break-even day where he loses, like 2 and 5.
Dips into the piggy bank.
Or he starts off real hot. Mikey dips into the piggy bank and is like, okay, let's go big for these
No,
next 2
not
games.
digging. I'm not doing it. I'm not dipping into any piggy banks.
Whiskey's going to be flowing.
No piggy banks.
If we can't even bet the Sunday games, we'll be working.
Yeah, we'll be live while Sunday night's
No, we won't. The game's at 5.
We start at 6.
Oh, live bet. You're talking about live
I'm
betting.
talking about the first pitch banquet.
Yeah, no, but you can bet before the game.
Yeah, I'm just saying we won't be able to watch it.
Oh, yeah. Right.
I mean, we'll be trying to.
We can't. Well, you can watch it. We're gonna be.
I'll be flashing you the score.
Yeah,
Put
right
all
in the
that
middle
phone.
of it. Right in the middle of it. That would be.
Question over here.
That'd be great. What's the score of the game? Anybody know? Thank you.
I
Appreciate
mean,
it.
Gosman could carry. What is he up in? He was in Toronto for a bit. Buffalo's right there. Maybe that's his squad.
He is in Toronto.
Was or he is?
He is in Toronto. It's very much still there.
Well, not right now.
Well, and here's the other thing. He's there until they don't win this year and they trade him out.
Damn. That's what you're hoping to happen, right?
No,
That
he thinks
panel-
if they blow it up, if they don't win early on and they blow it, like they're gonna blow it up and they're gonna have to redo it. And his contract is very team friendly because he's outperformed it already. So he's only getting you get paid $22 million a year, right? And as like
It's a lot of chips.
what he's done starter wise since he signed the deal, he's probably pitching out like a $30 million a year clip, right? As far as being in top 3 in Cy Youngs for 2 years in a row and being in the All-Star game 2 years in a row. And so it's an easy contract to move to a team who maybe is going to be a contender. If Toronto gets off to a good start and they're winning, they'll keep them there. But if they're not, they don't feel like they're going to be able to make a playoff run, I guarantee they get rid of them.
This will be year 3 of that contract?
3 of 5.
I don't know.
So we'll have 3 left.
I don't know if they'll move that. Why would you? I mean, here's the thing.
He thinks they
Okay,
will.
I mean, yeah, but like, think about it. Why would you move it when it's not expiring? If I'm moving, I get what you're saying, but think of the haul you're probably going to want to get back because it's like, well, I'm still getting them for a discount. Why would I move them and it's not, and I'm
Right.
not losing it next year?
I'm
Still
with
on.
you. I think in their mind they're like, well, we're gonna get rid of. We want to get rid of somebody. We have to get rid of some of our money and just go out and restart. Like I'm with you.
I would imagine, if you get what Kevin's been doing, that's one they're not moving off of, because at the end of the day, why move off of it now unless you think you're so far away, like you're not even anywhere close in a sense of like the next couple years. Like if you think you're so far away and you won't be competitive,
That's what I'm thinking. They're not going to trade him if they don't think that if they're gonna like restart it, they'll trade him. If they don't think they're going to try to have to restart the whole thing and try to rebuild it up from the ground up, they'll keep him. But like his age, he's not a guy they're going to build around. You know what I mean? So like they're gonna make that decision. Okay, are we gonna blow it up, or are we gonna say, okay, we're gonna try to move some pieces and do some? Because at the end of the day, he'll probably be their best trade chip because of what he's done and what they can get back from. I don't know. I'm just saying, maybe. Hopefully, don't trade him.
I'm in
like
the camp
Toronto.
I'm in the camp of thinking this when it comes to him, just knowing an idea of who they have there. They got some young cornerstone like type guys already. I don't think that they see themselves as like blow it up because we're that far away. Like now, would they maybe have to spend some money to get some more guys there to make it a thing, to make it a run? But it's hard for me to believe somebody that's outperforming his contract the way that he is with 2+ left on it, that you'll say, let's get him out of here. We'll see.
We'll see. It's a long ways away. I'm just saying that potentially could happen. I'm not saying it will. Yeah. But back to what brought us up here, he is still in Toronto.
And it's probably someone that people will ask about. I would imagine the asking price is going to be through the roof.
Yeah. He's been one of the best right-handed pitchers, one of the best pitchers in all of baseball. Yeah. For 2 years.
Especially with the way they're moving people these days too. Like you could, there's some young guys that'll be up there pretty quickly if they got something in the system where they're like, I
don't know what their system looks like. So I don't know. I can't really speak on that. I just
find out Sunday.
Based off we will. We'll find out Sunday. I have a lot of conversations. If there's anything you would like for us to ask, Kevin, throw them in the chat. You may or may not ask them.
Got time to fill.
We got what? Oh, for the
Yes.
for the on Sunday. I got the script last night.
Any notes? Any surprises?
No. So we are going to talk to Kevin, interview Kevin, and then Kevin will then give some remarks by himself and introduce Jay.
And then Jay starts speaking.
And then we go down, get out of there.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good.
You think Kevin's nervous?
They had 9 a.m. mic'd up set up on there, and I had to text her. Well, maybe, and now I can text her back. Okay, maybe we can do that a little early. Maybe not 9, but like 11 o'clock. Get it done early, so we're done.
Go home,
Shower, get ready to come back.
Go Heineken Silvers.
Well, Heineken Silvers.
Because the work's done.
Well, not work's done.
The easy part's the easy part.
What? The easy part's what?
The show.
I got to get on this. We get on the stage and be able to go through that part.
Couple pops. Always helps.
You don't have to do that.
I know.
We have to do that. So
Free beer and wine? Free whiskey? What?
what? I don't know actually.
I'll pack.
I don't know if it's free alcohol there.
I mean, I'm working the event.
I don't think that matters. I do not think.
I'll
that
bartend.
matters. What are you doing this weekend? Outside of that,
Nothing now. I had plans for Mardi Gras ball.
look, we had you called you out. I'm not
matured.
as nervous, but I still will need you there.
Yeah.
11 a.m. Now
Now-
we
now-
moved it up.
Now I'm not driving 2 hours and
Because
30
I
minutes.
have to go to the thing.
I
But
matured overnight.
he said he decided not to do it because of the show, which is not true.
Not
It is.
true.
That is
I
not
felt
true.
the angst that you had. It was tangible how nervous you were about me leaving town and coming back. And I was like, you know what? Well, I put Mikey through the ringer. I did it enough in 2023.
And here's the deal.
Let's take Miked up to the next level and take this thing seriously.
Here's the deal. It wasn't even about you leaving and coming back. It was just about you being the person that is leaving and coming back.
Could have been anybody else.
If it was Jared leaving and coming back, I have full confidence he'd be back.
Me.
It's you. I just don't know. So you're a wild card.
That's right.
You are a wild card, and it makes me that makes me nervous.
This baby gets better. I'm going. Maybe it's like a 24-hour bug.
I imagine they're probably not going to go.
No.
But I appreciate you staying home.
Yeah, mature. It's the new Lloyd.
New Year.
Now
new
can we
you.
get him there on time?
He's still going to be there at 11.
No, I'll wake up at 11.
11 a.m., dude. I'm telling you.
That's easy now. You
It'll
don't
be
have to worry
better
about
for
it.
us.
I would rather
'cause
do it that way.
Exactly. So we don't have to be there and from all day. You can get a little break. You get there, set up for like 2 hours, hour,
Reset.
whenever it is, however long it takes,
Test
and leave.
and leave. And then come back.
And then come back.
So first pitch banquet Sunday, 6 o'clock. Be there. If you've not
Be
already
there,
bought your
be square
tickets.
for VIP, 6 o'clock VIP.
Free beer, free wine, free booze.
What else do you want to talk about?
What else could we talk about?
What else
There's
do
a
you
lot of
want to-
people in the chat that are wondering
Yep.
to take it back to college football for a second.
Yep. Do it.
We had a question from Fonz Ferrelli in the chat. He threw an Ask Eminem out there as a prayer. Hope.
Perfect.
Let's see if we can get one.
Love that.
And he said, if you have it, tell us one crazy recruiting story from your time in college. Oh.
Put that on me.
I mean, you're gonna have more than I will.
He got game?
I mean, I don't have that many crazy recruiting stories. I wasn't as.
Who led your recruiting? Who was like your guy? Not coach player. Who took you out?
Well, for baseball?
If you don't remember, that's all I need to know.
No, I do remember. I was at Sean's apartment. We went to Sean Chinko's. Actually, Anthony, Micah, and Sean. We were with them. Micah was my host. Micah Gibbs. Yep.
Did y'all talk numbers?
No, we went to Izzo's a little before we went to hung out with the boys at the apartment.
Yeah, you got to get the gut sponge.
Yeah.
Smart.
That's what we did. I didn't go on a ton of visits. I didn't really go on. I only went to LSU. That was it. I didn't go to other visits. I turned down all my other visits.
Alabama?
Well, that was unofficial, but it wasn't, so I didn't really have that. Yeah, I don't have anything crazy. Jerry would have more than I would.
Man, that was a long time ago. I don't really remember that.
No, I've had some crazy ones.
Statute of limitations.
I don't really remember none of that stuff, man.
I've had some good ones with me hosting.
I bet.
visits.
Did you took that upon yourself?
Gosman. We were hosts for Gosman. Me and Renato.
I think I saw him at Shady's when he was visiting.
Did you?
Uh-huh.
What year was that?
11 or 12? When was he?
He came here. His first year was 11. He committed, I think, in 10.
So I was here. Yeah, it would have been 10 then, because that's when I came down to Baton Rouge. My senior year was 10, so 11. So
Can you imagine Lloyd in 10 in Baton Rouge? Oh,
I do. I remember I saw him. Well, I saw it before I even knew who
God.
Lloyd was. I wanted to throw him out of the stadium.
Look at you,
football
Lloyd. Look how far you've come.
I know. Still there. He got mad at me because I had to go to the bathroom a lot.
We had some fun.
What do you keep getting up for? Like,
Just
you
know
mind
this.
your business, Mikey.
Know this. We hosted a recruit. We got the recruit. Okay? If we were the host, we got him.
Priority. Kevin Gosson's high priority.
Oh, yeah. Next day, committed. Just let you know.
Yeah.
Great.
Izzo's was smacking.
Smacking, coach.
Smacking.
Izzo's
believe
did the job. Izzo sold it.
Yeah, that's what you tell. Like, look, they don't have these anywhere else in the country.
That's great. Yeah, they may be called something else, but they don't have Izzo's.
No.
Just here. I wish I had more. Wish I had more, I could tell you.
I wish I had more time.
Statutes of limitations have not expired.
No, I think yours are permanent. You signed that deal.
Statue of my memory. That's what that is. I don't remember that.
No, both are in. Yep.
I would say, how about this? I will give you this crazy story. This really did happen. We all know I'm
A sleeper?
yeah, I can pretty much fall asleep anywhere. I will say this, and it has nothing to do with how good of a time that I had. I do remember my official visit here was a LSU Georgia game. I think it was the game that Skylar Green had the punt return late in the game. I think. Can't remember. Third quarter, I'm in the stands, passed out. Fell asleep during the game. Watching the game, fell asleep.
You sitting down too much. You got to stand up in the student section. You were in the student section?
That heart rate stays low.
Yeah.
You know, if it didn't,
I don't get nervous in these big moments.
didn't really
Coach.
bother me at all.
Did you fall asleep in the
Cool,
meeting?
collected, baby.
Yeah. Did you fall asleep in the coaches meeting too? When he was
Nah, that never happened.
Stand up in the back.
Take a walk.
Memory. I don't really remember these things.
So I was asleep. Just gonna close my eyes real tight.
Never happened.
And the other one was, thank you.
Thank you. What does that mean?
Did y'all get new cameras? This looks great.
What do you say?
Chance Babin, did y'all get new cameras? This looks great.
Yeah,
We did.
thanks.
Upgrade. Back to Bussy, because this is where the recruiting thing came from. It's like, do you think that Bussy is a real option to get, or is he just trolling LSU? I think
I don't think he's trolling.
No, I
he's
think that-
doing it for too long for them to be trolling it.
right, and it hasn't been like he's absolutely pushing LSU as like, oh, eyeball emoji. All
Well, he's
that.
also not uncommitted, right? So, like, I feel like if you weren't committed somewhere and you're just trolling someone else, like, just to get some attention, do whatever.
If it was just LSU and A&M.
Yeah. I don't think it's true. I think it's a real possibility. That'd be a big get. That'd be a very big get.
Yeah, so just a quote from him. He's been at the Polynesian Bowl all week, which seemed like a hell of a time. Talking about LSU, I've been over there multiple times, Bussy said. Great guys, great staff. With all the changes they've made, I just want to meet everyone one last time, seeing what steps they've taken forward and who they are in terms of the new guys that are being hired. So he has
Where is he from?
Texas.
What part of Texas?
Let me pull it up. I got it right here.
Because that matters.
He was one of those Dallas guys, right?
He's from Tipson.
I don't know what it is.
Tipson.
Where's Tipson?
Texas is a big state.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, huge.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I've driven through it.
All the way?
Oh yeah.
All the way through. When you get to West Texas, that's brutal.
It's brutal.
That is brutal.
You're from Midland, right?
Brutal. Midland's actually growing spot. Big oil and gas area, you know?
It is.
It's basically its own little oil and gas town.
Man.
Can an MRI fix your knee?
You can see a tumbleweed across the
I
entire
actually
city
saw
in
tumbleweeds. I drove from
Crazy, dude.
I drove from Baton Rouge to Huntington Beach, California. In a truck
You
and,
driven through it?
in a truck and trailer.
Phoenix.
Yeah.
I flew by Phoenix.
It was
too.
8 hours from Baton Rouge to San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
It was 8 hours from San Antonio to the other side of
And
Texas.
that's a haul.
Yeah, once you get to San Antonio and you got to get the other side, that's like
No, that drive between San Antonio, it gets dark, literally.
you could
Hey,
sleep.
there's a spot where it's somewhere in West Texas where I think that there's a sign that literally says there's 253 miles, I think, from here into the next gas station. So, like, if you don't get gas, you will literally be.
they have Buc-ee's literally out there.
Oh, I don't remember.
Bro,
Yeah, it's not.
That's
I'm
crazy,
like,
dude.
It's crazy.
187. You're like, oh, okay.
I don't
You're
even
like,
know
that's
how
not real.
That's 3 hours.
How is it that long?
At least 3 hours, three and a half
and
hours.
the speed limit sits at like 85 or
85.
something. It's crazy.
Oh, is that what it is?
Oh, bro,
Yeah.
you be flying.
85 miles an hour is the speed limit?
My dad sent me a picture of it because he lives in Texas and he's got it.
You sitting here with the cruise set on 90, 95. Then you're like, oh, yo.
yeah, that's why you can't like. It's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's West Texas.
Flat
is
as
a
can
different
be.
beast.
Flat as can be.
I blew the engine on the Marucci
Just-
truck in that 85. Got about 105.
You can get lost in a nice podcast or album or
Or fall asleep.
the entire music catalog.
That's
of
when you.
someone.
That's when you want. That's when you want the
It's all one song.
the automatic driving car. Like,
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
Let me fall asleep. If I end up in Mexico, I don't care.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Yeah, I don't care. Wow.
Because you could fall asleep and legitimately wake up for probably like 5 to 10 minutes and nothing would have happened. You wouldn't have known. There's nobody else out there.
I drove.
If you missed that gas station sign, though, you're.
I've never
fucked.
driven all the way through Texas.
I did it twice, going and coming back, and I was like,
Yeah.
boy, this is a lot.
I've driven from Baton Rouge to Charlotte, or
That's not far enough.
that's like 12 hours.
like
I've
12.
driven from Baton Rouge, I think 14 hours my longest.
Driven from Baton Rouge to Baltimore, Baton Rouge to Phoenix. That's my two furthest. Yeah.
14 hours my furthest.
I don't even know how far it is from Baton Rouge to Huntington Beach, but we timed it just right. Got into the 405 at 5.
You went 24 hours?
No, we stopped.
How far is that drive?
So I'm saying, I-
I've driven from Vegas to LA.
that's easy. And we're going to do it again.
We did do that. Had
hangover
we had
style?
a nice passenger with us too.
Yeah, we did. It was fun. It's a good trip.
How we went to Vegas.
Is it hourly rates or daily rates?
No
For the
rates.
passenger?
No rates.
No rates.
No rates.
We went to
No rates.
we went to Vegas for the weekend, which obviously it's Vegas. So, and then we decided we're gonna go from Vegas to LA and go meet
So and so.
our friend Javi Sanchez. He was in LA, so we go there for a couple days. And so, we're just gonna drive. That's an easy drive. We do that, and we had another friend hop in because they're like, oh yeah, we want to go there too.
Pack them up.
Perfect. Hop in.
Get on
Boy,
in.
tell you what,
Got a room?
LA traffic, not fun.
Not fun.
Yeah. See the way the Vegas night went before, we weren't exactly the first ones on the road, and then we ran into the LA traffic.
The
and
traffic,
boy,
yeah.
that
And
was rough.
here's the deal: traffic doesn't stop after at 7 p.m.
No.
It's about 11 p.m. and it's starting to die down.
And then you get
It's a
into
good 6 to 7 lanes wide of just madness.
Not great.
It's crazy.
We had a good time in LA too.
We did.
We went to the Nice Guy. It's like a club you have to have reservations for, though.
Yeah.
It's like I don't even know what it's called. It's like a
Speakeasy
type
What
thing.
was that other club we went to there? It was like the little small club.
I think that was the Nice Guy.
That might have been the Nice Guy.
Because we go to the Nice Guy, then we leave, and then
No, that was
Bieber
like
and
the
those
that
guys-
was like the sit down ish kind of spot that we went to.
Oh yeah, like a loungy.
Yeah.
That was the bar.
But there was another spot that was like
Oh, the nice guy looks
maybe
fun.
it was like the bungalow or something like that. I forgot it.
Yeah, you like the Nice Guy. You like the Nice Guy. I forget what it was.
I
The
forget what it
Bungalow,
was.
maybe?
Maybe I don't know.
That was a great time.
Yeah,
Bunny,
we bounced around a couple
Bunny
spots.
Ranch?
We should. That's not in LA.
It's in
See
Vegas.
what you're trying to do to us?
Yeah.
The bungalow,
we should
Buddy
actually
what?
go back to Vegas. I mean, back to LA.
We should. I've had some good times there.
Great times. We had right after the 17 season, me and 4 of the guys on Detroit, we got an Airbnb in Hollywood Hills.
5 guys.
Awesome.
Might
Great
stay.
time. Airbnb was awesome. Overlooking pool, it was great. It was great.
Apparently, there's a hack for Airbnb, which we might need to look into. For
Oh, really? What is
the
it?
upcoming season. You look at the address of the place that you're going to, obviously, and then you.
Well, they don't give you the address though.
Or you take the picture and search it on Google Images. That's what it is. And it'll, you can screenshot on your laptop.
We're gonna try it off air right now. We do it.
Sure, but then it gets you in touch with the realtor who will give you it without the Airbnb price, like the 50% hook or whatever it is.
Wow. So
But
it's
you don't
on
get the
Airbnb.
Airbnb insurance.
Huh?
But it doesn't come with the Airbnb insurance.
Yeah, but if you have insurance, like you have
Your credit card.
renter's insurance.
Yeah.
Right.
You're fine.
So these Airbnbs are also
Papuano.
rentable. Like they're not just on Airbnb.
Right. They have to be listed, as a rental property, I'd imagine.
No, they don't.
Let me get this
They
absolutely
don't.
correct.
I'm telling you from experience, no, they don't have to.
Let me find it because I bookmarked it. Which you can do.
Look at
on
that.
Twitter.
He's working for us behind
They
the
usually
scenes.
are simply because they're probably vacant for the most part, but they don't have to be.
He says, this is for Michael Girdley. Go to Verbo Airbnb, find a one you like, identify the property manager firm and listing, Google the firm name, book property on their website, save $400 every single time.
Once again,
if they're listed, that's where you would find it.
All
Yes.
right, there you go. That's
If the Airbnb is listed from a property
Yes.
management,
If it is actually up for rental, up for lease,
if
or
it's
up for
one
sale,
guy
yeah.
having their own deal that they don't, it's not like a business
Yeah,
that
it
they're
doesn't
running.
have to be. Yeah.
Okay. Let's look into it. We'll do it after. We'll test it out after.
Look, Duke's Vitae on Twitter. Technique applied yesterday. Negotiated directly with property manager for a 30-plus day rate. Savings covered the cost of 2 round trip flights to the destination.
Well, does it have to be long-term rentals?
No.
Okay.
But that was just his situation. That's why he
Okay.
saved so much money.
All right. Love that.
So
Love that.
We've been in the Airbnb game before, especially during baseball season.
We are going to be in it again.
Yes.
True.
We are going to be in it again, which will be fun.
It's always fun.
Yeah, we'll have more. We'll do this a lot.
Mo
Now
better.
we didn't book this Airbnb until we're driving to Hoover.
Y'all didn't have a car.
Mobile.
We did not have a car. Yeah, we did. We drove
No,
my car.
That was Omaha.
That was Omaha.
I think we're getting pulled over.
We didn't have an Airbnb to go to Omaha until we were flying there either. No, we did. We had that one because that one was a little bit more difficult to find. All right.
But let's not act like we booked it 10 days in
It
advance.
was like 2 days ahead of time. We didn't have a car. We had to move. We had to. Yeah,
we did that 6 minutes before the flight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we changed our flight, that got canceled.
I think we're getting pulled over. He's on the phone with y'all.
Are you Mikie Mahtook?
Yeah.
Play for the Tigers?
I can hear him on speakerphone go, unreal.
Me and Jared looked at each other and was like, man,
Nice.
it's going to be a good weekend.
That really just happened.
We're
At
gonna
2
have
a.m.
a good weekend. Oh, yeah, I remember y'all played
But
here.
y'all played here in Omaha.
Well,
Awesome.
yes, sir.
This was in Iowa.
Yes, sir.
We're in Iowa. And we haven't played no more since 09.
Good memory by him, huh?
Great.
LSU travels, the brand.
No doubt.
Powerhouse.
No doubt.
That's a recruiting tip that you can use right there.
Coach as fast as you want in Iowa.
All right. What we got? You want to go to the Seggies?
Let's get to the segments.
Mistake of the day is brought to you by our friends at Dozy Place.
So it was going to be RG3 Dre Gruden, if you want to go
Yep.
through those. Also, considering the weather, we'll do this. 2 weather-related ones for me. DeAndre Ayton had a time. He was obviously plays for the Trailblazers now. The wicked weather that struck the Portland region on Tuesday was still creating havoc the day after and prevented Ayton from getting to the stadium to face the Nets. Ayton had already missed 11 games.
That
with
was
knee
unbelievable,
tendonitis.
dude.
And then Ayton tried for hours to combat the sheet of ice leading out of his neighborhood, and the team sent people out to help him, but to no avail. So this man
Called in sick.
called in sick because of the weather. And
At
the
least,
other one-
at least he had. Hey, y'all come and see for yourself.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
know?
clearly the man has never once. I mean, he was playing in Phoenix last year, and he moved into Portland. He's like, I ain't shoveling no snow. This thing's just going to get iced out. Nothing I can do about it.
Dude, I mean, I wouldn't know what to do.
Shovel snow or pay somebody.
I would. Yeah, I mean, that's like. I'm not prepared. I'm
No.
not prepared for those situations.
No.
How about the guy that had the blowtorch? Did you see that?
No.
Oh, this guy had a blowtorch, and that's how he was melting all the snow in front of him.
That's unbelievable.
That was actually gonna be, if I can find it, that's gonna be
pretty funny.
my curtain call.
But yes, and the other mistake of the day, which has blown up on Twitter, and we'd be remiss not to bring up some of the tweets, because out of all of this, there's one tweet that Jay Gruden regretted hitting send on and decided to delete it. This is going back and forth with RG3, where RG3 has kind of made a name for himself from doing this on Twitter, where this is where his domain is. He makes corny jokes there too, and he got into it with Jay Gruden, and who's his former offensive coordinator in Washington.
Yes.
And who, after their spat to and fro, Jay Gruden sent this and then decided, I might delete it. But
That was kind of mean.
he was sent
Jay.
sent this to RG3. You weren't good enough. Kirk was better. Cleveland didn't want you. Baltimore didn't want you either. Baltimore did either. Quit blaming me, and then deleted after 10 reposts, 7 quotes, and 58 likes. So somebody screenshot
Somebody
it.
has it out there.
Yes.
Yeah, duh.
So the saga has officially ended, I believe, as RG3 spun this into the classic podcast host. Come on my show and we can talk about it.
That's tough. I can't find exactly. This is a different one. This is the one I was talking about, but you got a curtain call?
Yeah, I do. It's been hard to find one, but this is a good one, I guess, if you want to say that. We're officially 30 days away from, baseball's actually being thrown again. Baseball season starts in 30 days, so being that this is a baseball show, go ahead and start your legit real countdown right now, and I'm going to go ahead and curtain call that because we own deck.
We on what?
On deck.
On deck.
On deck.
Baby, I thought we were on.
What?
What?
Excuse me?
What?
DECK.
What? On deck.
Deck.
On deck. Baseball term.
Paul-
Baseball show.
Baseball show.
Baseball show.
Say pause
Love that.
or-
Can't wait. Going to be a great baseball. Also, we'll have
Sometimes you turn
lemons.
into a delicious frozen slushy.
Yes. And so we had Jay Johnson on the show on Wednesday, or attempted to have him on the show on Wednesday.
Had it, lost it.
Had it, lost it.
Can't find it.
Had it, dropped it.
Got
and
it. Ball.
He has some technical difficulties, and we got to figure that out. But being that he likes us and a lot, and we've had built a good relationship over the last couple of years, on Monday he will be on a show again in studio. So you ain't got to worry about
Anything.
the audio being not there.
And I do believe I found a workaround for this whole thing.
I hope so, and we can test it too.
Yeah. Let's
For sure.
test.
For sure.
Dove deep into the guts of VMix and may have found the issue.
You did what?
Got in them guts. The inside, the brains. And then I got out.
Love that. All right, my curtain call brought to you by our friends at Assured Partners. I have two. One, Joe Pompliano, my guy. I've just been pumping him all the time. He posted a video on Twitter, talked about Buffalo and how crazy the weather is there and
You
how
dick,
awesome.
this is mine.
I thought you just had one.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. I thought you said, my bad.
I got that. The Here We
bad.
Go Buffalo. Yeah.
My
You
bad.
go ahead and say it, but yeah.
No,
take it.
I'm not. You go first.
I should have known better that you were all up in the Popliano.
I have mine. I have mine on there. So
Okay.
go ahead. I thought you already said yours. That's why I was like, oh, this one's on there. I'm just gonna say this one too. I'm gonna
Yeah,
do
it's
both.
a great
So go
one.
ahead.
So Popliano, Mikey's favorite.
That's mine.
Yeah, Mikey's favorite follow. Of course I put this in.
He is
there.
a great follow.
Yeah.
He is a great follow.
And so Buffalo, as they were catching some flack from someone, I don't know who thought this was a good idea, that $20 an hour was not enough for the good people of Buffalo to go shovel snow to get the stadium ready for a playoff game against the Kansas City Chiefs. Here you see the line of people that are lined up to go fix Buffalo Stadium so they can play a football game in Buffalo and take on the Chiefs. The line is out the door. This is more than people than, it's like they're getting the pink cup.
I mean,
The Stanley.
first of all, look how miserable that weather is.
They're not cold, dude.
This guy's got ski goggles on,
Ready to go. Look at all these people. This is the start of it. So,
and the concessions are open.
of course. Free food
we gotta
and
make that
bev.
money.
No doubt.
That 20 that we paid, we just gonna
Hey,
make it
just
right
give
back.
it back. Just give it back.
That's got to be complimentary, huh?
No doubt.
Yeah.
$20 and a beer.
Oh, they couldn't be happier.
$20 in a beer
And I believe
for every hour.
I believe.
If you want,
stay here all
$20
night.
a beer for the next hour. For every hour.
It's like lining up for the food truck in 8 Mile. Like
They're gonna start
here, you get
delivering
your
them by
beer.
drones. Here you go, over here. Drones.
But-
Spiked hot chocolate.
Oh yeah, they got all that in the pockets. There's too many pockets to check. Do you see the video of the Kansas City Chiefs fan getting ready for the game? Like the layers he put on.
Yeah, I did.
Unbelievable.
Was it 5 too?
Yeah.
5 or 6 layers, and it was like the thickest of like.
I mean, you walk around like a marshmallow.
It looked like
He put a jersey on at one point. He's like, oh, that's what the layers end at, and there was still 2 more that went after that.
the snow. The jumper.
7 jackets.
Yeah, it looked like the kid on the Christmas Story.
I wonder if he was still cold.
Probably.
Here's the deal: you have to have the face. You have to have the extremities covered. That's
Oh, yeah.
the big thing.
Or you could bring a blowtorch.
Or you could bring a blowtorch, which my curtain call is the innovation of people, right? Laziness
It's a disease.
is a disease.
Convenience.
Sometimes laziness creates ideas. And this is an older video, but there's one that I saw early, like recently, that like this guy was just blowtorching his drum. And it's a great thing. Just innovation, man.
Yes.
Also,
Bro.
there's a guy out
Oh my
there
God.
that created.
Honey, what are you doing?
So he created an actual Star Wars lightsaber, like a real one. It looks the exact same, and he also created the Iron Man mask with the thing that shoots the. You know how like when he's like doing
It's
his
got a
thing?
laser?
Not the laser, but like shoots like the like the rocket, not whatever it is, like yeah, shoots it out. Crazy,
Man.
crazy. I
What
saw
kind of
that the
time
other
they
day.
got on their hands, huh?
Unbelievable, dude. This guy was like, obviously he's an engineer, but like
See,
crazy.
that's why we need PFT to get back up and running again.
What?
Patrick F. Taylor?
Oh yeah, that's tough. Pat, did you see that? The pipe's busted.
Oh, yes.
There's
I did
another
see
one.
that. Yes, I did. But he got a legit torch.
Torch.
Like, I'm just carrying this propane tank.
It's unbelievable.
That's
But yeah,
crazy.
PFT, sorry about it.
Roost clap.
Yeah, I saw that.
Tough. Where's Robert Mann?
That's why you have the new business school. That didn't happen there though. Thank
And
God.
don't blame this on football,
If
right?
that happened there, that's tough.
No, Tommy Karam would never. Wouldn't let that happen.
Never.
Hey, remember to run those pipes.
Want to see Tommy on Tuesday? All right.
You should probably talk to him before the speaking engagement Sunday, get some tips.
Talking to him before my other speech,
The big speech.
my jersey retirement speech.
Here?
High school.
Oh.
Finally happening, baby.
Finally happened, baby.
Congratulations.
I graduated in 08.
Hey, good things come to those who wait.
No doubt.
Just got to be patient, you know.
Gotta be patient.
Is
Time's
there-
gonna come.
Is there somebody that like
You can't ask for that. You know, it's gotta happen organically.
No.
you were on the docket? It just had to get to you.
Nobody else got it before me.
When
which
you
is
doing it?
nice.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Next Saturday.
Next Saturday.
Yep.
What are you gonna say? Were you 8?
Mm-hmm.
Football or baseball or both?
Both.
Wow. They should
Yep.
do a split jersey.
I mean, of course, my uncle's like, when's football? I'm like, I didn't play football after high school, so I'm like it's not like I set any records. Like all the offense now is like 7 times better.
Oh,
than
you just said
the-
both.
Huh?
I thought you said both. You're getting your football,
No, just baseball.
just baseball.
Yeah,
I would-
or
like,
it's
I would-
just for baseball, maybe football eventually. But
Yeah,
just-
I would imagine like somebody like Joe Mauer, right? I would imagine Joe's probably got one jersey there, but they probably still have like all of his.
you
other
know, Joe's like a
accolades.
very good football player.
No, he was. I think he was a 3-sport athlete in high school.
I'd imagine.
And I think he was like all state in like everything.
Did you see his jersey retirement?
Oh yeah, with the guy that just struck him
The
out.
one guy he struck out one time in high school, and they brought that
entire
guy,
high school career one time.
Yeah, and they brought that one guy who struck him out to the jersey retirement, and he's exactly how you probably would imagine the one guy who struck Joe Mauer out.
How'd he look?
It was without a doubt the last pitch he threw was unquestioned going to be the last time he threw in high school. Like,
He was like 5'9", not someone that you would think, oh, this guy struck Joe Mauer out.
Fooled him.
Got him under the hitting
Under
speed.
the
Had
hitting
to be- Had to
speed.
be under the hitting speed.
Damn.
Antonio Pierce,
Got it? Raiders?
Raiders.
Antonio Pierce, Raiders head coach. That's the curtain call, too. Good job for the Raiders. Needed
Didn't
to
make
happen.
that mistake twice, huh?
And honestly, they may have lucked out the first
Yeah,
time.
they may
This is
have.
probably
Yeah,
the better.
yeah.
This may be the better candidate for them to do. Good job for him. He deserved it. He's earned it. All right.
I think they had some problems on their hands if they didn't do it. Like guys like Max Crosby could be like, "Hey man, just go ahead, ship me out of here. Then I'm out. I'm good." They would have lost the locker room a little too much if they didn't do it.
Striking out
You
once.
saw Adams, Devontae Adams, out of all the quarterbacks, that he said, "Would you be willing to play with a rookie quarterback?" Right? He signed a big deal there, and because usually veteran receivers don't want to do that. He's like, "Well, there's one guy, there's a guy that I would be okay with." Who do you think he named?
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels.
What
pretty
pick do they
good.
have?
Interesting.
Third
I don't
pick?
know. What the
I
Raiders
can't
have.
imagine that plays well for the team though, right? Like having that information out there
What?
for the Raiders.
What do you mean?
There's not much of a bargaining chip for you to kind of get into that spot to be able to draft Jaden.
Well, he said that. I mean, that's
But I would imagine like that can't play well
Yeah,
for him.
yeah, yeah.
That's got to be used in,
yeah.
If I'm the league, I'm taking notice to it.
Yeah.
It's not like somebody without a whole bunch of clout there or could possibly have a bunch of clout there said it.
Right.
Oh, they have the 13th pick.
Yeah, they're not gonna have. They're not.
That's
They
what
have,
I'm
they have to
saying.
trade up to get it. That's what
To
you're saying.
move up to get it, I can't imagine that would play well for them.
Right.
Bears on
That's
1-1.
out there, yeah.
Maybe like Aiden O'Connell.
Aiden O'Connell. Get it done.
Maybe so.
Because if you saw Mel Kiper's mock, Jaden Daniels is the unquestioned 2.
Oh, he's up to 2 now.
He's 2 now.
Wow.
You overtook Drake, May.
Yeah, that was the debate.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh, what a rise.
Guaranteed top 5 pick, you said.
There you go.
Guaranteed.
Love that. All right, that's all we got today. We appreciate you tuning in.
Good luck, Alabama.
Good luck, Alabama. Congratulations to
Welcome
Antonio
to the
Pierce.
public pool, baby.
Congratulations
For going
to,
public.
Our OC. LSU's new OC, Joe Sloan.
You heard it here first?
Potentially.
Potentially.
Yep.
Possibly
Allegedly.
you.
Allegedly.
Alleged till it's not.
Well, alleged till it's not. And we've learned that through experience of watching other people.
Yes.
Enjoy your weekend. It's going to get cold again tonight and tomorrow. You're going to get another little freeze, so wake up. It'll be a little cold. We appreciate you. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The thumbs up is a big help to us.
That subscribe's the bottom right corner. Just click it.
Subscribe. It just says it right there. We'll be back live on Monday, 6 to 8 p.m.
Live on Sunday.
Live on Sunday. Special edition of the show from First Pitch Banquet, 6 to 6:45. Nice little quick show. Have some people in and out.
Probably a tight 30
Tight 30.
to get everything down.
Huh?
Like to unplug everything also.
Yeah.
Like if I got to get out of there.
Yeah. So we'll be there. But Jay Johnson will be in studio on Monday, live from 6 to 8
Recapping
p.m.
everything.
Sometime we'll let you know the exact time when he's coming in. We appreciate you. We love you. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy football, playoff football. Go watch, support the LSU men's basketball team at home against A&M on Saturday. They're 3-1 in conference, going for another win. They go 4-1 in conference. They're making some noise. So,
Best
Go up.
sports football weekend of the year.
Best football weekend.
Whoa.
Best football
oh
weekend
yeah,
of the
yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Division around smacks every time.
You got four games.
You get 4 games.
And they're all
You
gonna
get
be-
2 and
It's
2.
your last full football weekend of the year too.
Yep. After
Take it
this is
After don't say it sadly. We're
we
we're
got
cruising right into baseball season.
No doubt.
Baseball.
Baseball. All right. We love you. Support you. We love you.
Support
Thanks
us,
for supporting us.
support you.
Yep. We support you. Support us. You scratch our back. We scratch your back. Those types of things. Don't say it.
Funny.
We'll see you on Monday. We appreciate you.
Think about
Wow, what a movie.
Peace.
my back is. What came from my cock?